Thanks to the support as a channel member, 2 Wearmouths, 1 Beard. And thank you for the support on episode 1 of this series. And thank you in advance for support on episode 2, this episode of this series. Like I said in the first episode, the best way you can support a new series and make sure that it gets off to the best possible start is to drop a nice big thumbs up on the video. It really helps the algorithm out. It helps the channel out. I'd really appreciate if you could do that before we get started up on the video itself. Let's try for 3,000 likes again. Why not? I don't have anything to give you this time, but 3,000 likes would always be awesome. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, turn the notifications on, all that kind of good stuff. We are very, very, very close now to 100,000 subscribers on the channel. I'd love to get there, like, soon, because then I can stop worrying about it then. But likes, thumbs are what we really want. Hello and welcome to part 2 of Born in the USA. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, I'm going to take you through our summer transfers, and also we're going to play our first ever game as a club. It's going to be in the USFA Vars against FC Internacional, who are in the Northwest League or Northwestern League, which I think, yeah, that's another one of the regional leagues at our level. We're at the 86th most reputable league in North America. You can see we've got a lot of North American leagues on here, and we've also got a revamped CONCACAF Champions League as part of the save as well. So when we eventually get there, it's a competition that's worth winning. And of course, we'll have the Mexican sides in as well. But we're probably getting a little bit ahead of ourselves looking at the CONCACAF Champions League when we haven't ever played a game yet. So shall I show you my transfers? I think I shall. You can see there's still plenty ongoing as well as we look to build a squad. The biggest news is that we haven't had to let anybody go yet, but we have been able to bring in quite a collection of players to add to our team. There was very little in the way of players who were just available on free transfers. I added in every US, or in fact every North American based player ever in the database. You can see by the fact that one of them was 44 years old that I've signed. This guy's only history is in 2012. He played for Sembawang SC in Singapore. But because he's American, he got loaded up in the database. Every single American player or anyone based in North America has been loaded up. But there was very little that were actually available on actual free transfers. Attensio was pretty much the only one that was any good that we could find who was unattached. So we've had to go and raid divisional rivals. We're all amateur clubs at this level. So I've been a monster and I've just gone raiding other amateur clubs to fill out our squad. So let's introduce you one by one to the new players. Firstly, we've got Marcelo Ravelcaba, who's a 21-year-old Mexican defensive midfielder, 3-star current ability, 5-star potential. We nicked him off of Seacoast United Mariners in the Northern Premier League, which I think is several leagues above where we are. I think that's 2 divisions higher, but he was a fringe player there. Out of contract or on a week-to-week, month-to-month contract, whatever it is. So we were able to just steal him away. And we've got Stefan Diallo, who's a 5-star potential 15-year-old American goalkeeper who comes in from the Seacoast United Mariners. Sorry, that was so they're the Seacoast United Mariners. These are the Seacoast United Phantoms. How can they both be called United? But one's the Phantoms, one's the Mariners, and they're in the same division. We're gonna have so much fun in America. So there's the Seacoast United Mariners and the Seacoast United Phantoms. I feel like in reality, one of them must be a Phoenix club of the other one, surely. But in this world, they both exist. We needed all the American clubs. Ed King is a 16-year-old American right back, not ready to play yet, as you can see, but he's 16. He's got 5-star potential. He's come in from Broadway Gunners, who are in our league, the Eastern League. Matthew Attensio, we've already looked at, a 44-year-old American central midfielder. We're getting the real cream of the crop here at Bourne. He's 6'2", though, 6'2" and older than me, so he'll be around for years. And I love the fact that he's not played a game of football since that one season he had in Singapore 9 years ago. But yeah, we'll bring him out of retirement at 44. He was just walking through Massachusetts, kicking a can along the street. Matthew, you kicked a can. In here, son. We've got a job for you. Remington Bloxham has come in from, who did he come in from? The Boston Siege, also in our division. Another 16-year-old right back with 5-star potential. Timo Moore is another right back. I love a fullback. He's 20 years old. You can see that we were trying to fill a gap and they weren't any good, so we kept going for better and better ones. Scouting is a little hit and miss at the moment. He's a 3-star current ability right back, 5-star potential. Another one in from the Seacoast United Mariners, who are basically our feeder club at this point. Mario Hernandez is a 21-year-old American right winger, 3-star current ability, 5-star potential ability in from Rhode Island from Tier 9. And then Daniel Jones is an 18-year-old American left back or centre back. He's 3-star current ability, 5-star potential. He comes in from Portland Phoenix, who are another one from Tier 8, the Northern Premier League. Where did we get to? Donny Seal. Donny Seal is a 28-year-old American striker or left winger, 4.5-star current ability. This is more like it. This is a proper player. He comes in from the New Hampshire Bobcats and was in the Media Dream 11, and I think still is in the Media Dream 11. We went and raided a few players out of the Media Dream 11 because I'm an evil monster. Sam Edgar is a 21-year-old American defensive midfielder, 3-star current ability, 5-star potential. Another one in from Portland Phoenix. And then Eric Laird is a 19-year-old, another right back. I mean, this one's no good. But he came in from Safira in this league. I'm pretty sure he was in the Dream 11 as well, which is why we went for him. We were raiding the Dream 11 at this point. Kieran Vargas is a 19-year-old American centre-back with, again, 5-star potential. He comes in from Greater Lowell United. And then lastly, Eric Cabrera, a left-back who can also play right-back, 1-star current ability, 5-star potential. He came in from Athletic Union. All of that means our squad depth is looking a lot healthier than it was before. There are still a few areas where we don't have much in the way of depth. We could probably use a better goalkeeper, although if we add the other squads in, we have got that 15-year-old who apparently still doesn't show up on there, which is a little bit odd because he should. But that's the squad depth, looking a lot healthier than it was. And certainly if we have a look at the Eastern League season preview, this is still broken. I still disregard that. But we have the entire back four now, Penicho, Vargas, Jones and Moore. Attensio, the 44-year-old in midfield, and then Fletcher and Seal as our two strikers. It's interesting to see that Prince Fletcher, at 1.5-star current ability, is currently considered to be in the Media Dream 11. So not only am I not trusting this, I'm really not trusting much of this. I think it's going to be very hit and miss about how good these players are. And we're going to have to base an awful lot on what we're actually seeing in the match engine rather than anything to do with those star ratings. I mean, look at the state of this. Look at the state of it. So we're going with a 4-2-4 wing play system. I haven't got a second system on at the moment. As you can see, there's not much that really appeals to me that's getting a thumbs up. I'm not going to do park the bus or counter-attacking. I'm not going to do route 1. So I'm also not going to experiment with anything too fancy in the 10th tier. So we're always going to do wing play. I'll stick it on now because I'll probably train a 4-4-2 wing play and a 4-3-3 wing play as well. And we'll just have 3 systems at least being trained so that we can switch around accordingly if we need to. But this is the one that we're going to use for this first game of the season. These are the players that are going to be involved in it. And what I do need to do is just set up some set piece instructions. So let's get our set piece takers on. Obviously, I know nothing about these players at this point. We are completely going into this first day of the season blind. We have no idea how good we're likely to be. Do we have a tall defender? You can be the tall defender who goes in there. And then we're just going to have an in-swinger. We love an in-swinger to the near post. What we do want as well is just somebody hovering around on the goalkeeper. And then likewise on this side, near post, get the tallest guy there, the other defender there, and get him tucked in there somewhere. Other than that, we're just leaving all the other set pieces pretty much as they are. Let's just make sure we've got some decent penalty takers on. And let's see what happens, eh? So this is the team. We've got new boy, 15-year-old. We've got a 15-year-old goal. We've got a 15-year-old goalkeeper and a 44-year-old in midfield. This is going to be fun. Stefan Diallo, 15 years old in goal. He's a new signing coming in to make his debut today. Gavin Panico. I love the fact that one of our defenders is called Panico. It's never going to get old. He was here at the start, so he's in at left back. Daniel Jones, one of the new boys at centre back, alongside one of the other new boys, Kieran Vargas, alongside him. And then at right back, we've got Timo Moore, who is another one of those new players who's come in. So lots of new faces at the back. Attensio, we know all about. He's already my hero. He's in midfield, alongside Marcelo Ravelcaba, who was our first ever signing, playing alongside Attensio in midfield. Then Seal on the left, although he could play up front as well. But looking at the role suitability, he's much better on this left-hand side. So we'll play him out there. On the right wing, we're going with Mario Hernandez, who's one of our other new signings. And then up front, Fletcher, who was one of the boys who was here at the start, supposedly the 4th best player in the division with 1.5 stars. And he's going to be alongside Carlos Sandoval, who's a 16-year-old who was here from the beginning as well. I think we might find we could probably use a striker. He's got 4 finishing. It's going to be, it's just going to be fun. It's going to be so much fun. Let's submit the team. Prince Fletcher is going to be our captain. I think he was 19 or 20 years old, which is fine. I mean, don't give it to the 44-year-old. He's never played a game of football before. Right, apparently, we are the favourites for this. Look at the ground. It's so beautiful. We are just going to need to set up camera stuff as well. So we want TV view, quite low down, very zoomed in. And we want key highlights, and we'll go behind goal on there. That's pretty much my standard camera settings. And this is it, boys and girls. Why is the game moving so slowly? I think it was just getting itself warmed up. As you can see, we have got the lovely, sexy 3D kits on. And we also have squad numbers all the way down in tier 10, which is fun because when we play down at this level in England, we don't have squad numbers until you're much higher up the system. I know we're not going to have many players who stick around because they're all on amateur contracts. This seems like it's going a little bit slower than it should be. Let's bump the speed up one more. Otherwise, we're going to be here all day. But yeah, if there is anyone who sticks with us for a long period of time, we could have some absolutely ridiculous squad numbers, which I think that's probably how it should be. We're in America. It should all be about the ridiculous squad numbers. I've seen ridiculous numbers on American sports clothing, and I'm very much looking forward to us having equally ridiculous numbers. So when we do put the shirts on sale, you're having to order your favourite player with 83 on the back. I think that would be awesome. I can just imagine the chaps over at Hope and Glory trying to get them set up. Why are these numbers so stupid? But we've scored our first ever goal of the save. It's Carlos Sandoval, 16 years old, I think he is. He's scored on his debut. They're all on debut. It's the first game ever for this team. But we are ahead. It's a lovely little through ball from Seal. Sandoval, remember, 4 finishing. He did scuff the first one, but the second one has found its way into the back of the net. And it is FC International 0, Bourne Football Club USA 1. We are ahead in our first ever game of football, and we're looking to get another breakaway on here. And it's Sandoval playing it over the top to Fletcher, who is through and forces the ball into the... What is going on here? We are going to... I mean, I don't know how much tier 10 Football Manager you've watched or played this year. This is actually a lower level than the English tier 10 ability and reputation wise. So if you think some of the stuff you've seen in home this year is mad, if you think some of the stuff you've seen on Twitch we managed FC Isle of Man in the English tier 10, if you think some of that stuff is mad, we are going to get some moments in the American tier 10 with the caliber of players we're able to get here. Fletcher with the corner. Vargas was lurking off the back of those corner routines that we just set up. But it is a counter-attack for FC International. And there's the old man Attensio. And hold on, old man Attensio. That's got to be his name straight away. It just rolls off the tongue. So old man Attensio getting in there with a beautiful challenge. I wonder how many seasons I can keep going with having a player who in save is older than I am. I'm 37 in the save. Attensio, basically old enough to be my dad. Sandoval is in again, and this time his 4 for shooting or for finishing shows a little bit better. And he just hits it straight into the goalkeeper. But we've had a very bright start. We're creating chances early on. It looks like International are doing quite a negative system, a 4-4-1-1. Anything with less than 3 players in the attack is negative as far as I'm concerned. I know some of you are going to say to me, 4-4-1-1 is a perfectly reasonable system. It's not negative at all. I think it is because it's only got 1 striker and 1 attacking midfielder. That's negative. Fletcher's just scored his first goal for the club. It's not from a long throw because we don't have long throws on, but it's a short throw and then across to that far post. It's just messed. It went to the opposition defender, but they've just kind of scuffed it into the path of Fletcher, who tucks it into the back of the net. A very tidy little finish, and 2-0 as we head towards half-time is about as good as we possibly could have hoped for. for this first ever game for the club. We have got a very tired player at the back in the shape of Kieran Vargas, who's only very recently signed and looks like he is really struggling for fitness. We do have Christian Carrillo on the bench, who is possibly going to be the first player to leave the club. The New Hampshire Bobcats are interested in him. But for now, I think we probably need to make that change at half-time. We don't want tired players on. Did I already do the team talk? I must have already done the team talk. So, they've made a change as well. How did you say his name? The guy who they took off? My word. Right, it is an in-swinging corner for Internacional, and they end up just fluffing it completely. The header goes a little bit high, a little bit wide. We're comfortably ahead for the XG here, which is very nice to see as well. What is that? Barcelona Soccer Excellence. I'm so looking forward to discovering some of the teams that are playing in these American lower leagues and seeing how the new history of American football, how it all shakes out over the next 10 or 15 seasons. I mentioned in the intro in episode 1, I'm looking for worldwide global dominance, both at club and international level. I know in the Apollon save last year, I wanted the Greece job and never got it. I would, again, quite like the American job if I can get it at some point. We're looking a long way in the future, but if I can become coach of the national team, that would be a lot of fun. Right, we need to make a change. We've got a lot of natural defensive midfielders, which seems... I mean, I'm not using defensive midfielders. They need to learn to play normal midfield, but we'll bring him on to play in there. Presumably he can carry on being a ball-winning midfielder like the guy who was on there before him. And then we'll leave it a little bit longer because fitness and all that. It's 2-1 now. I am a little bit nervy that we might be letting... We're going to call him Inter. Why not? That's obviously what you'd call him. That's short for Internacional. So it's Inter against Bourne. It's basically a Champions League game. Seal playing it forward to Sandoval. San Filippo, was that his name? Fletcher with the shot, and the goalkeeper gets on the end of it again, and it's going to be another corner. Fletcher does like the set pieces, doesn't he? We haven't really done anything other than hit auto pick for set piece takers, so I'm assuming he is the right man for the job, but attributes are so all over the place, it's difficult to say. He's got a 3 for corners. A 3 for corners and a 3 for crossing, and we've got him taking the corners. What? Why's the game picked him? Oh dear. I need to have a proper look at all this, I think. Right, Kakaburis, who was supposed to be our best player and hasn't started the first game. Kakaburis is going to come on for the last 10 minutes. I need to actually have a look at the set piece taker instructions before the next match, just to try and work out what's gone on. I don't know how much I can trust my assistant manager. We might need to go and see if we can bring somebody in that we might be able to be a little bit more familiar with. I don't know if there's going to be any... The problem is because we're amateur, bringing anyone over from England is going to be pretty much impossible. What a sales pitch. I know you're in England at the moment, but I'd like you to move to America. No, not any of the bits you've heard of. I'd like to move to a bit of America you've not heard of. I'm not going to pay you. No, I've not found anywhere to live myself yet. We're not going to pay you, but it'll be fun. You get on YouTube. Yeah, you've heard of YouTube. I'll give you a free shirt. I don't even know if the club have got money for a free shirt. Right, we are 2 minutes away from the end of the game, and oh my word, that would have been a very upsetting way to... I don't know what happens if this ends 2-2. I don't know if this goes to extra time, replay, penalties, those really cool American-style penalties that we got in the 90s where you start on the centre circle and just run towards the goal. I'd love it if it was them. What are they called? In-swinging corner, and old man Attensio he put his foot through it, but we've actually conceded a penalty. It was completely off the ball, and we're going to find out what happens, I think, if it does end in a draw, because with the last kick of the game, Inter have a penalty and they've scored it, and it's 2-2, and I feel robbed. I feel very hard done by what I've just witnessed. And I guess, our little 15-year-old in goal. He hit the ball. Mum, he hit the ball at me really hard. Are we having extra? Oh, we are having extra time. Okay. Golden goals? It must be golden goals. It's America. You've got to have golden goals in America. Surely you've got to keep it interesting. This isn't doing the game any good, the reputation of the game any good in the US. They've been playing for 100 minutes and there's only been 4 goals. Right, Carrillo plays it forward to old man Attensio. I love the fact it's just a car park on that side of the ground, by the way. I know this isn't our ground, but I wish it was because it's beautiful. As we looked at in the last episode, teams at this level don't have grounds yet. So it is just a bit of grass next to a car park. They're in again here. And somebody clear it. Oh, I thought he was going to kick it into the other player. That was very nearly a calamity. I don't know if we can do another substitution. We should probably try. I don't actually know how many we're allowed to do at this level. Let's try and make another one. No, we can't. So it is limited to 3. We've just got to hope we can grab a goal in these last 15 minutes or so. I'm not going to demand more. I'm going to encourage. I don't really know if we should be beating this team or not. The media prediction for us this season was 22nd in the league, but this lot are from a different division. So we don't know how good they are. We can't really trust the media prediction. And I don't know what kind of impact the signings we've made would make on the actual media prediction, which I guess we could look on the general info of the club again and find out what the situation would be there. But we started very brightly and have ended we're really struggling now. There's only looked like there's going to be 1 goal scorer for the second half of that game. And I think we've got away with it a little bit. I don't care about penalties. We've got away with it a little bit by not conceding at the end. I think Inter actually finishing there with a better XG than we did. And now the youngster in goal, Diallo. Oh, I thought he'd made the save. It hit the post, it said at the bottom. I thought we were going to have a new 15-year-old hero. It's Prince Fletcher to step up and... Yep, it's going to be one of those shootouts because we've got really poor standard players and they're not going to be able to do penalties, are they? It's going to be one of those. I love the way this works in FM. If you've got poor players, they can't score penalties. If you've got really high tier players, you'll have a 20 penalty shootout. Panico! Headlines. No Panico as Bourne make it through to the second round of the FA Vars. Oh, Diallo makes the save there. It's still 1-0. Seal can almost seal the victory. If he can tuck this one away, he can. It's now 2-0 on penalties. We're cruising. We're going to win this cup. I don't know what level this cup goes up to. I think it's the bottom 3 or 4 tiers playing the US FA Vars. So I think any kind of result in any match in this is quite a good one. Diallo's made another save. What a performance from Diallo. A complete shutout of Inter after they played so well in that second half, and particularly in extra time. I feel like we've robbed them a little bit there. We've come to their place, their bit of grass next to a car park, and we've booked ourselves a spot in the second round of the USA FA Vars, where we're going to play the Rhode Island Reds, who are in the Atlantic National League. So that's like tier 6, I think. Is that right? Is this? No, I think this might be tier 8, actually. We'll figure these things out as we go, I think. But we are going to wrap the video up there. I know I've only done 1 match. We will be getting into the normal routine of 2 matches per episode from tomorrow. I think what I'm probably going to do tomorrow is show you the first 2 league games. And then we'll start getting through the season a little bit quicker. But I want to see where we stand in the league as well. So we'll do a couple of league games tomorrow. I'm still going to be trying to sign players as well. Let's just see if there is a transfer window. I'm not sure that there is. There is. So we've got like 3 weeks left to complete transfers. So we do need to press on with that. So tomorrow's episode, there'll be more transfers. There'll be the first couple of games in the league. And let's just check club info to see if our media... No, we're still predicted 22nd. I don't actually know if that one's dynamic or if that just stays what it was at the start of the season all the way through. But it's a winning start, even if it was just a draw and penalties. It's a winning start. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.